An eschaton is an end point, that a certain set of events or ideas will then end up in a certain location. In other words, it's the harvest. You planted these seeds, you've watered it, and then the eschaton will be the harvesting, the reaping of what you have sown. And this happens throughout history. So you have a continual set of endpoints. It can be for an individual human life. It can be for an institution. It can be for the entire world. The cosmic eschatology, they call it. But because so much focus is on cosmic eschatology, we tend to lose sight of the fact that eschatology itself, these eschatons, are coming at us very quickly all the time, and that we have a obligation toward them. We have a way to shape them properly, again, because you reap what you sow. So if you adjust how you sow, in other words, ethics, what you're doing, your moral conduct, then the eschaton will be shaped appropriately. It'll be God blessing for obedience. It'll be God cursing for disobedience. So these things are baked into the scriptures. And so eschatons are all over the Bible. There's constantly these cases of the end of this particular dynasty, for example, or the end of this king's reign, and what was happened at that point. Was it a good reign and ended up in even better things to come? Was it an evil reign that people rejoiced that he was gone, or to get even worse after that? These are all eschatons, and they all lead inexorably to what God has ordained for this set of ethics, for these kind of actions taken. This is the result that's going to happen. This is the eschatons. And when you detach ethics, then you have Jesus is a great ethical teacher for openers, but you leave out the atonement and the incarnation and all the things that he did. And then we have eschatology is a study of old wives' fables, in essence, the things that were forbidden to do because they minister questions. So we get sensationalism about what's going on in the Middle East, but no one cares about their personal ethics anymore. So we lose sight of the personal eschatons and the individual and the municipal ones, the state ones, and institutional ones, corporate eschatons, and because we're focused wrongly on an area where we think it's detached. So we separated eschatology from ethics, and consequently our eschatology is anemic. It misdirects us, it doesn't guide us properly, and it also gives us false hopes. The proper hopes is when we match these two things together, when ethics is put into place as the engine that drives eschatons, because that's the way the scripture points it. Do this and live, do this and die. See, it's a very simple thing. And because it's simple, people want to get rid of it and intrude all these complications in its place. These are end points. They're coming at us at all levels. There's an eschaton for a mayfly. It appears to be a one-day-long life, but it has that eschaton, and it deals with it. What is our eschaton? Do we use our time properly? 70 years is the span of time of a man, approximately, according to Psalm 90. What will you be doing with that time? What's that time going to be like? Ecclesiastes 3 has some comments about that. And so we need to be mindful of where ethics comes in. So what we need to do is reunite these things that have been torn apart because humanism first off did that, and then Christians followed suit. And this is a mistake. It cheapens everything about the scripture and makes it inapplicable. And now we look for solutions to man. And then we're back to that other eschatological curse. It's a curse when it says, cursed is the man who trusts in a man who makes flesh his arm. What happens? His end will be cursed. So we have an eschaton built right there into Jeremiah 17:5. And so the whole scripture flows with ethics and eschatons tied together. Just open your eyes and you will see it. But people have been trained to be sleepy-eyed when they look at it and don't make the connections. It's a fatal mistake.